Hi again, everybody. So last time we talked about simple sentences, and today I want to talk about compound sentences. But before we get there, we need to go over what's called coordinating conjunctions. Sometimes in class you hear me refer to these as fanboys, because these are the most common coordinating conjunctions out there. And if you put them in the right order, the acronym is fanboys. So those coordinating conjunctions are for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. And all these guys do is they join up words, they join up ideas, they join up sentences. So in order to understand how to put together a compound sentence, you have to know what these fanboys are, because that's how we make a compound sentence. So, just to review, a simple sentence, which we talked about last time, is just that has a subject and a verb, right? And together, those things are an independent clause. It's the same thing. Simple sentence equals independent clause. The way that I like to think of it is that sentence could go out and live on its own and make a living as a sentence. It has everything that it needs. You are dependents of your parents. Most of you could not go out and make your own living and pay your own rent and buy your own food and clothing. So you are dependent. So if a clause doesn't have a subject and a verb, we call that a dependent clause. We're going to talk more about those later. But just for now, know that a simple sentence and an independent clause are exactly the same thing. So there's a formula for making a compound sentence. A compound sentence is just two simple sentences that are joined up with one of those coordinating conjunctions that I just showed you. So the formula for a compound sentence is an independent clause plus a comma plus one of the fanboys plus the second independent clause. Okay, and this comma is important because the fanboys alone isn't strong enough to hold up these two independent clauses, so it needs a little help, and it gets some help from the comma. Notice that the comma comes before the fanboys. So here's an example. I tripped over the chair and I fell on my face. I tripped over the chair is a complete thought. That is a simple sentence or an independent clause. I fell on my face is also a complete sentence, an independent clause. So you join that up with one of the fanboys, and here's your comma. Now, here's what it would look like if you used a dependent clause and you didn't have a complete thought on the other end. I tripped over the chair, complete thought, fell on my face. There's no subject there, so that becomes a dependent clause, and you can still hook it together with a coordinating conjunction, but you don't need a comma here because this fanboys can handle the strength of an independent clause and a dependent clause at the same time. Okay? So this one is a correct example, and this one, not so much. That is not a compound sentence.